Chapter 4. When the sale is stuck, Dean Kamen is an extraordinary inventor. He has more than 100 patents to his name. He developed an insulin pump, a portable kidney dialysis machine, an electric wheelchair, and dozens of other innovations. He's backed by the wealthiest, brightest venture capitalists in the world. Few can match his record of success. It's December 2001. Kamen is launching a new product that he says will completely revolutionize transportation around the world. He has been working on it in absolute secrecy for a decade. It is the Segway, a battery-powered personal transportation device. The market? 6 billion people. It is heralded with tremendous fanfare. In anticipation of its unveiling, Newsweek predicts it will be one of the most important inventions of the century. Kamen claims that within a year, his spanking new factory will be churning out 10,000 Segways a week, with a price tag of nearly $5,000 each. According to Wired magazine, Kamen figured that executives at companies like FedEx and American Express would behold his high-tech superscooter and wonder how they'd managed all these years without it. Actually, the factory ended up shipping about 10 Segways a week, not 10,000. A decade later, 50,000 have been sold rather than the tens of millions that were predicted. Ride a Segway to work? To school? Not really. People had cars, buses, trains, and their 2 feet. No one felt a need that had to be fulfilled by an electric, upright scooter. Individuals didn't. Corporations didn't. Governments didn't. Segway could not affirmatively answer the first question that determines whether someone will buy. Does the buyer have a significant problem or opportunity that the solution addresses? No need. No sale. Nearly 25 years earlier, on April 17, 1977, President Jimmy Carter is on national television. He gives a dramatic speech about the energy crisis. He explains that Middle Eastern nations have raised the price of oil. The United States is dangerously dependent on foreign energy supplies. He asks Americans to sacrifice, to conserve. Shaking his fist, he calls the challenge the moral equivalent of war. Carter is absolutely right about the energy crisis. He is prescient, ahead of his time. But after the speech, his popularity plummets. The public does not buy his message, his plea. Not at all. Some even mock him. Why? In 1977, Americans didn't see that they were responsible for the energy problem. They perceived it as caused by foreign suppliers of crude, as well as the big energy companies and large corporations. It wasn't their personal issue. The public refused to buy President Carter's energy program because he could not affirmatively answer the second question that determines whether someone will buy. Does the buyer own the problem? The buyer must be able to take action. They must feel responsible and, in an organization, empowered by their leadership to deal with the problem. No responsibility and ownership. No sale. During the 1970s, when Carter was president, a high-fidelity revolution was sweeping living rooms across the country. The development of the transistor, and then the integrated microchip, laid the foundation for a new generation of stereo equipment. Speaker companies like Bose began manufacturing truly superb speakers that vastly enhanced the listening experience. Consumers loved these improvements. Soon, even college dorm rooms sported great-sounding turntables, amplifiers, and speakers. This quality explosion put previous generations of equipment to shame. Stereophiles were now very, very satisfied with their listening experience. Then, someone had the bright idea of quadraphonic sound. That's right, instead of 2 speakers there would be 4, with 4 distinct sound channels. If stereo sounded like a live performance, quadraphonic sound would be like sitting in the middle of a performance stage with the players on all 4 sides. Quadraphonic sound was a humongous flop. It was expensive. There were almost no recordings that could take advantage of it. And most important, consumers were highly satisfied with their already great stereo equipment. The quadraphonic audio system soon joined the dustbin with the Edsel car and 3D glasses. Quadraphonic sound could not affirmatively answer the third question that determines whether someone will buy. Does the buyer have a healthy dissatisfaction with current offerings or with the rate of their improvement? No dissatisfaction? No sale. Dubai Ports World's acquisition of British company P&O in 2005 illustrates the perils of failing to meet the fourth condition for someone to buy: trust that you are the right person for the job. Dubai Ports World is owned by the government of Dubai, which is part of the United Arab Emirates. P&O had the contracts to manage port operations in 22 major U.S. ports around the country. Even though P&O was a non-U.S. company, no one raised any objections to their management of such important national assets. The company was largely British-owned, and Britain is a staunch U.S. ally. Dubai Ports World was a different story, however. Politicians quickly picked up on the fact that many U.S. ports would soon be under the management, albeit indirectly, of a Middle Eastern government. The acquisition came under fierce attack. There was fear-mongering about terrorists infiltrating the United States. Dubai Ports World's potential ownership of the port management contracts was portrayed as an extraordinary risk to national security. The U.S. Congress threatened to block the deal. It was a cause célèbre in the capital. Under enormous pressure, Dubai Ports World gave in and eventually sold P&O's U.S. port management business to a U.S. company. Dubai Ports World could not affirmatively answer the fourth question that determines if someone will buy: does the buyer trust that you are the best person for the job? No trust. No sale. No matter what the circumstances, when you are trying to convince someone to buy, these 4 conditions must exist. You might be selling a service to a corporation or, perhaps, presenting a proposal for a new initiative to your boss. It doesn't matter. When the sale is stalled, you must ask: does the buyer have a significant problem or opportunity that the solution addresses? Why would they hire you to solve a problem they don't think exists, or buy a product that doesn't address a distinct need? Does the buyer own the problem? Can they take action? Are they responsible? If not, you're talking to the wrong person. Does the buyer have a healthy dissatisfaction with current offerings or with their rate of improvement? People will buy only when there is a gap between current performance or current offerings and their desires. Does the buyer trust that you are the best person for the job? I can have a problem, I can own that problem and be empowered to act, and I can have a healthy dissatisfaction with current offerings, but if I don't trust you or your company to do the job, there won't be a sale. If you want to sell anything, you must determine whether these 4 conditions exist. In the end section of this book you will find a series of additional questions to ask a potential buyer. These will help you determine whether it's a yes or no to each of these conditions. A sale of a service, a product, or an idea requires an investment of scarce time and resources. You must be determined and committed. Before you exhaust yourself trying to get the sale, you must ask the question, are they ready to buy? Suggestions for how to use this question: are they ready to buy? Have you heard this before? We talk and talk but nothing happens. They won't get off the stick and buy. When people are ready to buy, it is a delightful experience. They reach out toward you. They relish the interaction. But they won't buy your product, your service, or your idea if the four conditions have not been met. Condition 1. Is there a problem or opportunity? Ask the person questions such as, what is this costing you right now? If you don't fix this problem, what will the consequences be? What do you think this opportunity is worth? Is this one of your highest priorities? Condition 2. Does the person own the problem? Ask them questions such as, who owns this problem? Are you responsible for fixing this? Who would authorize an expenditure to address this? Who needs to be involved in a solution to this issue? Condition 3. Does the buyer have a healthy dissatisfaction with the current offering or the rate of improvement? Ask them, is this a minor irritant or something you're truly fed up with? What would you say is missing? Why do you feel that now is the time to put extra resources against this? How effective have your own efforts been to address this? Condition 4. Does the buyer trust you and believe you're the best alternative they have? Ask questions such as, what other solutions are you looking at? How do you feel about our capabilities in this area? What concerns do you have about us or our approach?